At least it didn't delete all my scenes again. Though it will in the future, I know it will. It freezes again, so help me God.
Welcome back.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Screw the Screaming Falcon stream emote. The one I'm gonna make is just a computer that's on fucking fire.
Why not both?
Because I can only have one sub-only stream emote. So I can make the other one just normal.
The sub only will be just a computer on.
Yeah. Or something. Okay. Well, you know, assuming Fuse doesn't crash in the next 6 seconds, let's, what the hell was I saying last?
Fuse instantly crashes.
You were, mentioning how, I think you said, like, the mayor would be buried here in this tomb, and the person who was originally intended to be buried here was buried lower down?
Yes.
And I was asking if I would know why they were buried lower down instead.
You are not sure. You just know that it was hastily moved. Their tomb was going to be similar to Liana's, so the switch was not a big deal. You think maybe it's because Liana's the current, like, mayor, and after she dies, people might want to, like, pay homage to her or something, and it wouldn't be great to have her just, to have people have to trek through all 7 layers of the catacombs just to go find Liana's tomb. That's probably it.
And nothing out of the ordinary so far?
Doesn't seem to be.
Anything spooky?
Anything spooky?
Any spooks and creeps?
Let me roll a spooky roll and see how spooky it is.
Oh jeez, a spook check?
It's a spook check. I got an 8, so it's not that spooky.
Oh, what did you get, an 8? Yeah, that's not that spooky.
No.
Definitely really... in 5 days.
Make a haunt roll.
No, we don't have enough dice to make a haunt roll.
I have so many d6s. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's not a d6 to make a haunt roll, though.
I know, I'm aware, but it's the shape of a d6, so if I just say, hey, numbers or whatever, and other numbers...
Well, a d6 can be a haunt roll if you're playing
I got 3
Betrayal
fives.
and House on the Hill.
I'm so deeply confused.
We're talking about a game called Betrayal at House on the Hill.
You make haunt rolls with d6s.
Mm-hmm.
When spooky things happen.
Alrighty, so...
Great game.
Yes. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Spooky time.
Sure.
Or
Alright.
not so spooky time, I guess.
Or not so spooky time. Alright, you guys can go ahead and continue further downwards into the mines. This will bring you down to level 4. And this one it's very large, very airy, and as you're going down, you notice that it is getting colder. Well, no, it's not really getting colder. Because once you were down in the very cool part of the catacombs, that should be 54.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and it will remain at that temperature because that's how the underground works. It's not getting colder, just kidding.
Okay.
How could you lie to me like this?
It could be
trusted you.
a mystical cold.
It could be a mystical cold if there were a reason for a mystical cold, which there might be. We'll see. You'll find out.
Dun, dun, dun.
And oddly, this layer is, you know, I'm gonna make the final judgment. This one is a little colder than it should be. And you enter a sort of a 4-way crossroads. Directly ahead of you, you see a larger-ish room, and to the sides, you see 2 hallways leading to your left and to your right.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Well, don't they say always do the go right thing?
The go right thing.
Like always turn right.
Always go right, and then you'll always I don't know. Maybe that's a maze that's different.
Yeah.
You mean how you like go through a maze that you always turn one direction or another?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Turning that particular direction. Rule of right is usually what it's.
That's a good idea.
I just know follow the left wall.
I think both usually are fine. There's very few exceptions to when those don't work.
Yeah. So, what will you do?
Debate my life choices.
Sure.
I'll step in and try and figure it out.
What do you guys think? Which way should we go?
Well, I say we go right. Why not?
I'd like to take a
Besides, the longer we wait, the more we just been delaying
I
the inevitable.
have. I bought just for such a thing. A quote unquote D2. Basically just a very fancy coin.
Minato just starts walking right.
Okay.
Can I smell down both the passages?
Roll perception.
Got this.
But I flipped my coin and I got left, but I guess Benato was already walking away.
The 22.
From the left, you do smell recent dust, as if people have sort of been in that area sometime in the last few days. And from the right, you smell a faint hint of. Let's see what's on the next level. Well, a faint hint of an unidentifiable but slightly damp rock smell. That's about it. Directly in front of you, you smell cold, which is weird, but it does have a smell.
Oh boy.
How far down are we at this point?
You are on
Fourth
level
level.
4.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, might as well.
Where are you going? Which way are you going?
Right.
You're going to the right. Okay. You find yourself in a hallway about 60 feet long, and branching off in two sets of 3 are secondary hallways, each about 35 feet or so. And those are lined with like little, like the Draugr shelves in Skyrim. They're lined with that.
Are the shelves full or empty, or?
Most of them appear to be empty. A couple of them do have sort of wood or stone coffin boxes on them.
Now, is this like some of the crypts or catacombs where they'll have the fresher bodies laid out, but then once they've decayed enough and the next person's to go in, they'll disassemble the bones and stick them in the corner and put the next body on?
You do not
Yeesh.
see evidence of that particular process, or right here. It looks
That
like,
escalated quickly.
I mean, that's
Yikes.
very cool.
Because I know there's multiple ways that people have been turned dead over the years, and that was one of the ways they would use to save space.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was just curious.
No, yeah.
Player curiosity.
For sure, for sure. No, you don't see any sort of haphazard bone shoving happening anywhere. These look like very clean, and a lot of them look very recent boxes. They're recent boxes.
Ah.
They're probably the newest of the entombed.
Okay. Minato is looking for fissures or cracks in the walls that might poke through somewhere or whatnot.
Roll investigation.
Any sort of small draft through them.
Sure, sure.
18. Right? Yes.
In this area, searching through the various hallways, you do find one spot where at some point you can see the wall was broken. And you can see this big long crack that was running through it. But you see that it has been sealed with some sort of, not exactly caulk, but a sort of a pasty substance that is hardened. And it looks like this one was repaired quite some time ago. It's repaired very neatly, though. It's hard to see.
Okay.
Good to know.
What else would you like to do?
You said the pathway splits off in 3 again?
Yeah, there was the one to the right. You went to that one. That's it's a whole bunch of coffins. There's the one that going straight and the one going to the left.
Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna follow my nose. What do I smell?
I already told you.
Still all the same. No
Yes.
change.
No
No
change.
nothing.
Wait. The right pathway just dead ends?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of little, like, sort of hallways full of shelves, and that's it.
Okay. Then I'll go around to the center one.
Okay, you go about 40 feet and find another, like, major tomb, major mausoleum area. And this one, it's weird because it looks like there's torches on the walls for a second, but they can't possibly be lit because it's snowing in here, and also it looks like there's daylight, but there's not. But it is
Wait,
snowing.
It's snowing?
Yeah. Sure is.
You what, mate?
Yeah, that's unusual.
You can look up and you can see that this room is a little larger than you would expect an underground chamber for one person's body to be.
Suspicion levels rising.
And
I hold up
you can see that though the ceiling far above is made of stone, there are snowflakes drifting through the air.
I hold my hand out and try and catch a snowflake, see what it does.
It melts when it touches you because you're warm, and it's not.
Just in my mouth.
It tastes like a snowflake, which is have you ever seen snow before, Zachro?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. You're familiar with snow then, right? Because you're
Yeah.
right next to the dragon's spine.
Experiences of my life. This is probably also magical, but not in such a positive way.
Okay. So yeah, it acts like snow would.
Minato is
Snowwood.
confused.
I would like to discern whether it's magical.
Roll Arcana.
What is this strange stuff?
Try some.
What?
Tasty.
Would Mira know what snow is? I can't remember how far north Silverhill is.
It's on the
Oh.
equator. Maybe you wouldn't, unless you've been up into the Kaivel Reach.
I don't know if temp.
Okay, I thought
Tempwood.
Silverhill was further up.
Yeah.
It's further north,
Say
like in a
No.
more like Englandy sort of climate. But okay.
I have 15 there.
Mira looks at Dakar and is like, "So what? You seem familiar with this. What is it exactly?"
Happens when rain is really cold. It turns into ice, but in the air, and then it gets fluffy.
Oh,
Interesting.
I've never seen
Yeah.
it like this. Like we occasionally have
Fluffy
gotten a hail
rain.
storm. Those are really rare.
Yeah, you actually notice that if you step through into this room, it seems it's definitely larger than. Is this even a room? Like you take a few steps forward and you look back and you can see the hallway entrance, but it's just like a portal between two pine trees.
Step back.
And
Step back.
when you step back and you're back into the hallway looking into a large room in which it is snowing.
This is a little suspicious.
I want to discern the nature of this portal. Is
What
it
did
created
you-
or was it supposed to be here?
What did you roll on Arcana, Zachro?
I have 15.
You get a 15? Yeah, this is a magical effect, for sure.
Oh yeah.
This is probably, like a minor sort of, either a portal to another place in the world, or a portal to, like, a pocket dimension. It's probably to another place in the world.
Do I recognize the place?
No.
Okay.
Would you like to inspect it further?
I would like to smell the place and inspect it further.
It smells like snow and pine trees.
And the roof, right? You said?
And it has... Pardon?
A ceiling.
When you're looking at it from the tunnel, yes, you can see a stone ceiling.
Minato walks in and
Alright.
walks around the tomb.
Sure, sure. You
Sure.
walk on
Great.
in, and the further you go, you take 10, 15 paces, and when you look up, the ceiling is gone, and instead you see just this low layer of clouds. And you glance around, and it is daytime. It's perhaps... You're not sure what time it is, because you can't see the sun. It's very cold here. It is snowing gently, and you are surrounded by pine trees.
Alright, I'm gonna look for tracks.
What sort of role would it be to determine if, like, can I determine are we truly outside, or is this...
Roll nature?
Yeah.
And Zachara, roll perception.
12?
That's the sky. It seems like you're outside.
Interesting.
I got an 18 perception.
You do not see any tracks of people. You do see a couple of sets of birds tracks in the snow.
Like capercaillies?
Like what?
What kind of bird?
You don't know from the track. It's just little bird footprints. Like
Sounds
little
really
songbirds of some type.
real cute.
You actually hear one somewhere off in the trees.
I walk not back to... Well, first off, is there any other doorways kind of similar to the one we came through?
There are not, but you do notice, Minato, that in front of you, the trees assume a sort of pattern in their placement. It looks like they are deliberately planted in 2 rows.
Okay, now we're getting weird.
I try and walk...
Yes, it's much weirder that the
Outside of
trees are
that.
deliberately planted than that we're been transported somewhere completely else where it's snowing. That's much weirder, yes.
Okay, you can walk outside the rows of trees. Are you going in the same direction as them?
No, perpendicular.
You're just walking away?
Leaving us behind, I see.
Well, okay. The perpendicular tree, or the 2 rows of trees are where exactly?
They're in front of you. Pretty much in the same direction that the hallway in the tomb was running.
Alright.
Alright. I want to kind of go outside of the row, so to speak,
So
and
lo-
then follow it. See if there's, like, a boundary of some
Sure.
sort.
Yeah, you can step outside the rows of pine trees and continue, and it's not a very long row of pine trees, and you find that it leads to a small clearing. And in the center of that clearing there is a stone structure. Just like a small little building.
I look at... I carefully ease up to the small building. And
I want to look at it too.
is there any windows or just a door?
Just a door.
Wood or stone?
Stone.
I
It's actually
give
not
it
even a door, it's just a doorway.
I carefully peer into it.
You see one ornately carved stone sarcophagus.
Who's in it?
You don't know.
I was gonna say, are you cracking it open, or are we just looking for a name?
I am just asking it. Who's in there?
You don't. It doesn't respond?
Okay.
It's a stone.
Is there a
Very
name or
honest.
any
Does it know who I am?
is there a name or any markings around that would suggest who it is?
Yes, on the front, Marcella Rhine is written, and you
Ah.
recognize that name. Go ahead and roll me a history check.
What's on the
15?
Marcella Rhine is another one of the founders of Silverhill, and she was a wizard who specialized in conjuration.
This is probably some of her type of voodoo that we got going on here.
Which is, as Zakrau, as you know, conjuration is the art of summoning creatures to yourself or creating doorways or portals to other places.
Mm-hmm.
Marcella also was from a small village on the edge of the Rhyolaith Woods. So either this is a sort of an emulation or a simulation of that place, or she literally left open a doorway leading to this location.
Wait. That's really convenient, isn't it?
Oh?
Where is that place exactly? I know this. I just can't remember at the moment.
The Rhyolaith Woods is the forest, the boreal forest that covers the South Pole.
Okay, yeah, not convenient at all. Never mind. Wrong wood.
Where did you think it? Oh, you thought it went to Iril.
Ryleth, Iril, you know.
Ah.
Anyway.
I look along the walls of the inside of the building.
You see, it's carved with a bunch of reliefs of, like, really intricately designed, very beautifully detailed snowflakes. And it's a scene of, like, a winter land, much like the one that's actually outside.
I will walk up to the coffin and just ask, how are you doing today?
Nothing answers you.
Doing okay? Everything okay?
I
How are the
run
wife
my
and
Zakrau?
kids?
Minato runs her hand across one of the snowflakes, shivers, pulls out her scarf, puts it on, and then starts walking back.
Yeah, scarf's pretty useful.
Yeah, Minato, you've never really seen snow before this, and it sucks. You hate it.
Oh.
It's
Aw.
cold. It makes your joints stiff, sort of.
It makes me wet.
Yeah, now your boots are wet. Oh.
Snow on your head. I
There's
think I've got
in-
snow.
Damn it! You beat me there. Damn it!
I didn't even hear what was said.
Do I want to know what just
I
happened?
think I've got snow in my boots.
Gosh darn it.
Mom was right.
It's time
I
to
should have worn a sweater.
Still completely lost. Anyway,
Uh,
Mir's opinion of snow is that at least it puts cozy things she makes to use, but other than that, not a huge fan.
Mir, you're actually quite warm. You're covered in feathers.
Oh, yeah.
You silly bird brain.
You can fluff
Did not-
up. You can fluff your feathers up a little bit, and you are just fine.
Activate
Yeah, Mir
floof.
becomes Mir activates Floof. This is the fluffiest you've ever seen your little cleric.
It is a little strange. You look over and you're like, oh. Huh.
Minato is not a fan and is headed back.
Alright.
I'll head back, but not before I make a snow angel.
Go right ahead.
What check is that?
I'm gonna
Snow angel
say... Let's say athletics to push snow.
What if I don't trust myself to make that check? What if I use, like, my mage hand to help?
What, are you gonna push your own arms with your mage hand?
So it might help. I mean, the only other
Keep in
really
mind, athletics is a strength check, and this is a wizard we're talking about. That's probably why.
Yeah, that's probably why. I mean, the other option is like the only other cantrip I have is like Ray of Frost. I don't think that's gonna do that much here.
I don't know. Ray might be able to
You
help.
could make the
He's a
most
pretty nice guy.
badass snow
Who have the
snow sculpture.
make your own spell thing?
What?
Oh,
I gotta
Jesus. Yeah, Zachar has the Ring of the Grammarian.
Yeah, you can make
Oh,
be creative.
This is what you're using this on.
all right,
Go
all
for
right.
it.
Make a Bay of Frost.
I'm not gonna do that.
A horse? Chili horse.
What are you going to do, Zachar?
This is too much pressure. I can't think. Let's think on the walk.
Oh my god.
Let's walk back.
Okay, you guys turn and
Oh. Got it. I
Okay.
cast.
you cast
Suddenly-
what?
It's second level instead of knock. Knack
Oh my god. Okay.
on myself.
Pick one of your ability, like one of your skills.
Well,
I was
it's
just gonna say.
the strength, obviously.
No, you're one of your skills, not abilities.
Oh, sorry. Athletics.
Okay, for 1 hour, you have proficiency in athletics.
Wow.
This sucks because
You've
I
got a
already
knack
did.
for it.
Okay.
Then
neato.
double it. Then go ahead and add it again.
It's sweet. Let's do this again.
If you
Let's
already
try
have
this.
proficiency, you gain
Expertise.
expertise. This lasts for 1 hour. It's concentration. Yeah, that's gonna take. Yeah, you have proficiency in that skill, and if it's not, let's see. If it's not, like a time crunch thing, you can take advantage on the check as well.
Oh, right. So is that a snow angel check with advantage that I'm doing now?
Yes, you have expertise and advantage.
Oh heck.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
It's a second level spell. I'm not gonna make it something lame.
The roll. So I rolled a 19 plus 3 plus 3. 25?
Was that with advantage?
Yes.
Okay, you take a minute and you cast a spell on yourself, and you don't know if it works the way you want it to, but you think it does, and then you flop your little body down and wiggle around in the snow, and it makes a beautiful cat-shaped snow angel.
It's the best
Does it
thing
have
ever.
a little tail too?
It does have a little tail. You make its like skirt thing, and then you take your tail and you whoop in the snow just to make it have a little tail.
I love it. It looks just like me. It's
And,
beautiful.
You give it little cat ears?
Yes.
Roll a d20 for me.
Okay. Seven.
I don't like how many dice I hear rolling.
No, I'm just checking if this die is cursed, because I just rolled me the same number a shit ton of times. Okay.
Do we need to get out the sage, start burning it around the dice trays?
Understood. Thank you for the roll.
Sage won't help.
What happens?
That's all.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for the roll.
Okay.
Okay.
On we go.
Alrighty.
Spooky.
So you
So
return
before-
to the tomb.
Yeah, I
Before
think Minato's got some.
Before I get back, I'm gonna stop about, I don't know, about 10 feet from the door,
Mm-hmm.
and like all
Even here,
arms crossed, shivering, look at the door, then try and go around the door first, real quick.
okay. Yeah.
Like stay close, but like just ever so yeah. Like it's between two trees, so try and go around those trees and see what happens.
All right. You walk to the side of the portal, or the doorway, and you scoot around it, and it doesn't seem to let you. Like you
Invisible wall.
You step to the side of the tree, and as you sort of try to scoot, like crab scoot to the side around it, you hit like a barrier.
So funnel.
Can I try the other side?
Sure.
Anything there?
Same thing
Like
happens.
I'm just gonna walk around.
And as you're looking at it, you see snow drifting through the space that you cannot move through.
I try following
Can
barrier
I make
backwards.
a snowball and try throwing it through the space?
Sure, go for it.
Oh. Or am I actually rolling for this in some fashion?
No.
Nah, I mean, you're not, like, aiming for anything, so go ahead and just throw it. And, one moment, Minato, I'll get right back to you. Yeah,
Okay.
you throw the snowball mirror, and, it goes sailing through. Minato, you put your hand on this sort of invisible wall, and you follow it, and it starts to lead in this big, curving sort of line, and from what you can tell, it seems to be surrounding that central stone building.
I pull out
Okay.
like, some of my rolls or trail lashes so they take a little piece off it and try throwing that through the invisible wall.
It bounces off.
Ah.
Minato,
So this
as
is
you
an
watch,
illusion.
Minato, as you watch, you see a couple of songbirds outside the wall, go flying through and then back out again.
Huh. I
So
shiver
the
again
impression I'm
and
getting
hightail
is-
it through the doorway as fast as I can.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be here.
Alright. You leave.
Can I stop as we're going through the door and wave goodbye?
Yes, you may.
Goodbye.
Suddenly, the entire snow turns into a and waves back.
Sleep well.
Nothing happens. It's very, very peaceful to look at.
It
There's
looks
just sort of
wonderful.
this sort of just gentle winter landscape. Just this gently falling snow, occasionally a bird, nothing else. Nothing moves. It's just peaceful.
Very contemplative.
Indeed.
Hmm.
You
I
walk
like it.
through the portal and you find yourself again in the hallway.
Shiver, push off as all the snow that's still on me.
Yeah, strangely enough,
Prestidigitation.
you track some snow through with you.
So this-
Minato, if you don't mind, I will prestidigitate all the snow off you.
Opens arms.
There we go. Much better, right?
Oh, prestidigitate the shit out of it.
Anyways, I guess we have only one more way to go.
Let's do it.
Alright. You head to the left pathway, and there are, again, two paths, but one of them you can see leads to some sort of level area, and one of them leads downwards.
Guess we'll start with the level one.
Yep.
Okay, you head in there, and you find two more of those sort of large, two more sets of those large branching off the main hallway areas that have a lot of shelves for coffins. Most are empty, again. A couple do have boxes on them. Whoever would like to search, give me a perception roll. Or investigation.
Doing it.
I get nothing.
17.
I'm too busy staring at
What'd you roll?
where the snow was and I rolled.
That's an Act 20.
Wow.
Hey.
Okay, Temp, you
Temp investigates the shit out of the place.
yeah, you
I can see
look around.
forever.
Yeah, you guys can see. Oh, by the way, it's getting kind of dark in here, so anybody who doesn't have dark vision is going to have a little bit of difficulty seeing. There
Mir
are
will cast light on her little the feather in her hat.
Never mind.
Oh,
You're all
that's so
good.
cute.
Too pure.
You're like an anglerfish, but small and fluffy.
Kind of.
But
It's not
better.
the endearing word I was looking for.
You've got a little.
I don't know. I
you've
think
got a
anglerfish
little,
are cute.
like, quail head dingle that lights up. That's pretty anglerfish.
I mean, you know, it's in a little bit of an
And the
I'm going to steal
angler
your soul
mirror.
sort of way, but yeah, they're still cute.
The angler mirror. The
Yeah, Temp.
mangler fish.
You give this place a
Manglerfish.
good thorough searching, and you're familiar with damp or musty hallways. Your monastery had some. There's nothing wrong with these. No breaks, no cracks, nothing. And from what you can see, all of the bodies here have been laid to rest very, very well, like perfectly. And none of them are at all disturbed.
That's good. Nobody likes a disturbed body.
That would be disturbing.
Sounded really weird. Oh well.
What will you do?
I guess we should keep going or something.
Go down to the next level.
Alright, let me turn my page. I have maps of all of these. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Nice.
Why am I not surprised?
Level 5. Okay. It's actually like a switchback that you have to go down, and this one is, this one is pretty simple, honestly. You go down, and there's just one big hallway, and then another cross-section hallway, and the cross-section one, you can see, has a crap ton of sort of cavity hallways leading off of it. And the main hallway leads way, way at the end to a dimly lit room.
I peer at the darkness.
I cast magic missile at the darkness.
No, I peer at the darkness.
It's dark.
Don't smell anything, don't see anything.
It
Is it dank,
smells
though?
like a
That's the question.
catacomb.
Okay.
The cross section you said is just like what was above. Hallways that end with the shelves.
Just like above.
Then I continue on to the major room.
Alright. This one contains... There are no torches in here. At all. And it would be dark. Except that there is a sort of a floating sphere. And it is a light blue-white sphere. And it is, cold near it. It seems to be shedding sort of a frosty essence. And it is letting off bright white light. Or dim white light. That fills
Is
the
it
room.
source?
It is the source. It's just kind of floating next
not-
to the door.
Not like source like the
No.
power source thing.
Is it a planar source?
Roll Arcana?
Got this, I got this.
Also,
Should think something else for Knack.
Oh well. What was I gonna say? Oh, this isn't like the item that Zakro has, right? The glowing sphere thing.
What?
Wait,
Oh, do you
I
have
have a drift globe.
drift globe. Yes, thank you.
I do.
What'd you get on your
Mia
Arcana?
bought it for me, and I still owe her. Also, my Arcana roll was 24.
This is a similar
Nice.
construction. Judging by its sort of frosted glass appearance and the white like mist that it sheds, this is you get the idea that whoever put this here was definitely a trained wizard. It might have been Marcella, honestly, because it feels like the magic upstairs did.
Yeah,
And it what?
I think this source might be maintaining that place. We better not touch it.
I touch it. No.
Don't you dare.
It is primarily. It looks like it's shedding light in the room.
Oh, nice. At least it's not shedding fur in the room.
Well, it doesn't have
On
fur,
the
as it's
rug.
not a living creature. So
Or on the sofa.
You see anything else in the room?
yeah, there's a tomb.
There's a
Look
tomb in the
disturbed
room.
or quite nice?
Does this
It
have a name?
It does. This one It's very plain. You actually notice that it's the stone doesn't even seem to be fully carved or finished. And this one reads Bertrand Wallace III. Go ahead and
Wow.
roll me history.
Alright. Ooh, that one's not so good. 6.
Bertrand Wallace III is another founder, Silverhill, human. You think he was like a paladin, maybe? Not sure of who or what exactly he did, but
Can I try? Probably
you have
not.
not studied Silverhill's history. No, you
Yeah,
cannot.
that's true. Never mind.
Other than that, you don't really know a whole lot about this guy. The tomb is very
Oh, well.
simply decorated. It doesn't really have those designs on the walls, no intricate murals or anything. It doesn't even have really
Paladin of
torch
Cetizen.
sconces. What?
Put it in the chat.
Just use your words. JD, please stop looking up pictures of quails and play the
I'm
game.
sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm paying attention.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So if it's a sparsely decorated thing, but he was a paladin, he must have been a paladin that wasn't like ostentatious.
That is possible. You do notice that one of the sort of decorations that does exist in this tomb is there is a sort of a line along the walls, like a stripe, and it appears to be beaten silver.
Beautiful.
Spooky.
Does it look magic?
Roll Arcana?
Get it one of these times. Ah! I dropped it. We're okay. 12.
That's not magic, it's just silver.
Okay.
I don't know. Silver's pretty magic. No.
I mean, I don't know if they were like trying to restrain an animal that couldn't go through silver.
You're in a catacomb?
You never know.
Alright.
Anyway, yeah.
What would you like to do?
If this doesn't look like a disturbed place, we should move on.
Alright. You going to... Oh no, because it's only level 5. Okay, sure. Yeah, you guys can easily find the passageway leading down to level 6. If you would like to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Level 6.
Out of curiosity, Mira's been sort of peering around to see if she spotted the tomb of the other grandfather that died before she was born.
It's level 5. Yeah. If you take probably about half an hour, because there's a whole crap ton of corpses and stuff down here. You could probably find it. Yeah.
Do you guys mind if I look real quick? Or...
It's fine. In fact, I'll help. What are we looking for?
You found it.
Okay.
There's no time crunch, so I'm just gonna assume that it's you guys
Okay,
can
yeah,
sort of
we got it.
take the time and search. Yeah, you find it. Is your great-great-grandfather?
No, this was the Mira's maternal grandfather.
Okay.
She never knew who Hannah had her father with, but her mom had mentioned this grandfather.
Okay, yeah.
Dmitri Book, I think was his name.
Yes. Yeah, and the name it's a little faded. A little dusty. It seems that this is not a commonly frequented area. You find it like it's pretty far back in one of the outer cavities of this level's catacomb tomb area. But it is back there. It's not a commonly frequented area. You need to bring your light in there because it's not lit otherwise. But you do find it.
Is it like a closed coffin sort of thing, or what?
Closed coffin.
Mir kind of just wipes off the dust, takes a moment in her bag of holding, and leaves one of her little crocheted flowers.
It is a spot of bright color in an otherwise dark tomb.
Alright, let's go find some undead. Shall we continue on?
Yep.
Alright. You move down to level 6. And the pathway wraps in on itself, and it seems to take a very sort of a long path. And it winds slightly, it switches back, and then it turns left and right and left and right. And then you come out immediately into a room completely carved and decorated with scenes of some lush, verdant jungle, and it's actually painted. There are beautiful colored birds on these paintings, and you can see intricately detailed flowers and animals hiding in this jungle scene in the bushes, in the trees, and above you can see a sort of rayed sun design, which appears to be shedding its light down on the situation here. In the center, you do see the sarcophagus of what you assume is another founder of Silverhill. The name on it is Tris-Ket Dewaith.
Tris, what?
Tris-Ket.
Trisket.
No.
She's a Trisket.
Tris-Ket.
No.
Triss''Ket. Dewaith.
Should I roll another history check?
I was totally down for some Triskets, but you know.
Go ahead.
7.
Triss is you're trying to remember. She was one of the founders, obviously. She's a human who lived in a town in, was it on the edge of Suthara? I mean, it has to be. That's the only really major jungle. Yeah, it was a town on the edge of Suthara. The Great Western Jungle.
And?
That's all you really remember about her. She was, sort of like a private person. But she must have really loved her hometown and the jungle she came from. You can see the carvings in this place are incredibly detailed. The birds, the snakes in the undergrowth and in the trees, the ferns on the ground.
Are there any places in this carving that has a frog?
Any frogs? Plenty of snakes.
And another question is, does it happen to be a little warmer in here than it was upstairs?
It's warmer than Marcella's tomb, for sure.
Oh yeah, so is anything.
Let's see. Yeah, there's a couple of carvings of frogs. You can see one or two on a leaf here or there. Seems to focus more on the birds and reptiles. Well, birds are reptiles. But you do spot the occasional froggo. You can see around the name on the sarcophagus, there's just these lines of strange scratched text that none of you can really read.
Oh dear.
Minato just
We can't
waved
read
her
it
hand
because...
You don't know the language.
Oh! Can I tell
Oh.
what language it is?
What languages do you know, Zakrow?
Actually...
Actually,
Hang on.
some of you might be able to read this.
Tabaxi Common, Sign Braille Elvish, Undercommon, Orin, including primordial dialects, Qualis, and Celestial. But
Christ.
I'm so curious about this, I'm gonna go ahead and cast some language spell. Comprehend languages on myself.
Okay.
Because I gotta know. I gotta know what it says.
You won't understand how to speak the language, but it does tell you the meaning of the words. And
Yep.
they are... Let me find them, because 2 of you can read this. No comments
I'm gonna write
necessary.
them down.
You see, okay, so first off, there is a there's a sign in common, not facing the direction you came from, facing off into the hallway, the other hallway leading to the tomb. There's a sign, and it reads, when I can go find my notes, it reads, "Dwellers from a distant land, you will not pass through here into the light." And it's facing away from you, towards the hallway. It reads this in common.
dear.
Wait, like deeper into the tomb?
Yes.
Okay.
It reads that in common.
Great.
And
Interesting.
the one that you used comprehend languages for, you have to touch it. Does it tell you what language it is?
I'm working on it. Still finding that out. Hang on.
Okay.
What's the name of the spell?
Comprehend languages.
Compel. It doesn't say anything about you knowing what language it is.
Yeah, not that I can find.
All right.
Just that you understand the literal meaning of the spoken language you hear and any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface.
All right. So you can walk up. You touch the side of the sarcophagus, and as you do that, nothing happens. But you do get to learn the meaning of the words. And the
Yeah,
words,
I'm gonna write down some of these words just so I can look them up, because I take it I don't recognize the
you can
glyphs
try
or
and
whatever.
scroll this. It's this sort of jagged, harsh-looking script, and you do not recognize it at all. It is completely unfamiliar to you.
Do I have to check to write it down?
No, you can take like a rubbing.
Figure I could, yeah, just kind of rub over it.
Okay.
Alright. That's
What
an
it
interesting
says-
mystery for me.
What it says is, "The hunter and gatherer together guide me to the distant lands. I walk the path between sunset and midnight, between moon and sky. I go to where the autumn is eternal."
What does that mean?
That's what it says.
I don't know. I can't speak it.
I will go ahead
The
and
autumn
write it
is
down in the
eternal?
chat as well. Bear with
Does
me.
Mir recognize this as any sort of religious phrasing?
Roll religion.
Probably is, because autumn isn't eternal.
Well, that's what you think.
And during the whole time,
18?
You do not recognize these names.
during the whole time that like when we first go in and we're looking over, Minato's just tracing her hand over some of the trees and the reptiles and stuff. And when she comes to the writing, she just kind of runs her hand over it, looks at it for a second, then walks away and goes back to looking at the other engravings on the wall.
Do you know the writing?
And then when Zakrow starts to speak, she listens intently.
Let's see here. All right.
I'm go. Can I roll something if I understand the meaning behind it?
Go ahead and roll
I mean, I
religion.
guess we can all check. Put our heads together on this one.
Nope. Just you, Minato.
I
Okay.
did recite it.
What am I rolling?
Roll religion with disadvantage.
Oh. Oh, well, it's not terrible. Um,
Yeah.
that's a 15.
You feel like you should know something about this. And
Okay.
it's right there, but you can't quite get the idea of what you're trying to think.
Hmm.
It's like you have almost all the facts for something, but you can't quite get them all.
Missing that final
Perfectly.
piece. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
So she'll just stand there after Zach Rose said it, and while everybody else is discussing it, she'll just stand there, like, contemplatively staring at the ground.
You okay, Minato?
Minato, what is your wisdom score?
It's a 10 or 0 plus 0.
Okay.
Nothing. I thought it reminded me of something I heard back home, but nothing. It's just nothing.
You hear something, Minato, and it is a faint sigh just off your left ear. Just behind you.
Spooky.
I whip around, pulling out Nightfall.
That's what you do.
There is nothing there, but just behind you again, just behind your left ear, you hear the faintest little
Ghosts!
She
Scary skeletons.
she flips the dagger around in her hand like several times.
nothing happens.
Sticks it back into the sheath really slowly. Kind of does that, chill sensation as if you just came out of a spooky place, or like the feeling
Yeah.
of the ghost on the
possession
back
shudder?
of your neck. Yeah, it's like, okay, that was creepy. And then just kind of keeps wary, kind of paranoid.
No one else heard
Looking
anything, by the way. It's just
You
you.
okay, Minato?
Hey, you okay over there?
You again?
You look like you've seen a ghost.
I'm bored.
The air is still warm.
It's nothing. Let's just continue. Start walking down the hallway.
All right. You very quickly come to a turn, and then another turn, and another, but this time the path splits, and then it switches back on itself. And
Uh-oh.
you find that you are in a maze.
Oh.
Remember what I said earlier about keeping to the right, guys?
Keeping to the right.
All right. So you come to the first split, and that is where one passageway leads. Well, it's basically just a wall splitting a big hallway in twain. Into two hallways.
Mark Twain. Let's see if I get this.
Twain.
So it literally split like forks into two.
Yes. Left or right.
Okay.
I'd like to smell them.
They both smell like hallway.
Alright.
What's a hallway smell?
Minato
You tell me.
walks left.
All right.
Oh, what did you
Okay.
tell me?
Minato, you follow the hallway down.
Marking the entrance that she walks down with an X of chalk.
Nice.
All right. You
That's the smart.
you go ahead. You walk down, and you come to a sort of a bend around it. And then you go around a little bit more. You turn left, right, left, in quick succession. It's just like a loop, sort of. And then as you round that corner, I'm going to need you to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure I made that with a 17 plus 6.
Baby.
Let's see here. Real
That's
quick.
23. That was a saving throw, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Give me just a second. What's the DC? Oh shit, it doesn't tell me the DC. You got a 20 what?
23.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okie doke. It's 10. Go ahead and take as you step forward, you notice that there is this sort of these faint lines traced across the ground, just embedded in the stone, and they're just like shimmering with this sort of very, very, very faint light, and you only see it in the darkness because it glimmers ever so slightly. And you leap backwards as you get very, very close to it, and you will take 10 cold damage as it explodes in a burst of whirling white ice shards.
Oh,
which
geez,
then
that's-
dissipate.
So do you not
That
have
was
some
not very
roguey
cool.
sort of thing?
Did I make the save?
Yes.
Then I take no damage. Evasion.
Ah. All right. Yeah. You.
That
see
would be
it.
the roguey
Yeah.
sort of thing
Just
I was
in
asking
time.
about.
And there's
And
a
monkey
you're
sort of
near a
thing,
corner,
too.
and you actually do like a sweet backflip, and press yourself against the wall, and you see these ice shards go whipping out around you, but you are fine.
Nice one.
She now starts to look for traps as she walks ahead.
All right. Give me just a second. Sorry, I had to move my microphone. All right. Sure. Roll perception.
Same as my passive, so 18.
All right. All right, you can keep going for quite some time. And you feel almost like you're going in a weird circle, but you're certain that you haven't crossed over your own path yet because you're leaving chalk marks behind. And you find a couple of little split-offs, but they lead to very, very close dead ends. Like, they're really just not convincing. And at some point you get to another left or right split where you do not know which direction is the correct way to go.
Well, we started by turning left, no? So keep turning left.
All right, you go
Is
left.
that what our characters would think to do?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I was the one who mentioned that turning left. Temp did, so.
Okay. If tempted, then yeah, we'll continue that.
Sure. Looking for something. Hold on. All right. All right. You continue onwards for quite some time, and this time, let me see what I am. This time you manage to spot another glyph. This one is on the ceiling, and it is glimmering a very faint red color. And as you get near it, it sort of flares up slightly, but it does not seem to go off. And in the dim light, you can see that it is positioned next to the dead end of the hallway.
It's positioned where?
Next to the dead end wall of the hallway.
Okay.
Can I take out a ball bearing and I chuck it at the glyph.
It bounces off the ceiling, and nothing happens.
I take another one and chuck it at the dead end.
It bounces off the wall, and nothing happens.
So it just is red glyph at the end of a dead end.
Correct.
And that's what this whole entire path ended up being, is just a dead end.
Yes, you went left, and now that is this.
I guess we go back to the turning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure there's no other try and see if there's any secret ways, like small crevices that are just illusionary crafted, like, you know, where it's the walls just flared out a bit so it looks like it goes to the wall, but it really doesn't. There's actually a small passageway. See if I see anything that way.
Okay.
That would be what? Perception or
Investigation, because you know what you're looking for.
Okay. 17.
Yeah, you, without getting too close to the glyph, without getting close enough to set it off, you, managed to get a pretty good look at the end of the hallway, and it does, in fact, appear to be just a dead rock end of part of the maze.
Okay. Since I'm sure. We go back.
Alright.
Meanwhile, looking at all the along the way as well.
Okay.
Not only looking for traps, but looking for any major fissures.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation.
Not as good with a 10.
You do not see any breaks or cracks.
So then I guess we continue on down the right pathway.
Alright. You continue down the right pathway, and after several twists and turns, you find a room where the hallway sort of expands out, and it is just a long drop, chasm almost. And across it you see several floating chunks of rock.
Okay. Interesting.
Is there more hallway on the other end?
Yes. From what you can see. It's about, say 50 feet across, so it's just to the edge of y'all's vision. But you do see that there is a doorway on the far side of the room.
And how far are the rocks?
There are 5 of them. Each one is about... each one is a square max. And they are increasing distances apart, with the one on the far side being the hardest to reach. Oh, yeah. We should take a break soon. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that now. We're going to take a break now. And I will see...
Where are we going to take it?
Well, home, hopefully. Like a lost puppy.
Before we go on the break, you said there was 5
Mm-hmm.
rocks?
There's
Okay.
a real big gap between one of them. Yeah, sorry. Let's say this is a 60-foot chasm. There's a real big gap between the 5th one and the far, I don't want to say far edge of the drop.
Okay.
Alright, we will be back
Alright.
in 10 minutes. I will see all of you then.
Alright.
And we should be back.
Howdy do.
Oops, let me change the, there we go. There we go. Alright. Who are we still missing?
JD just said BRB, so I think.
Okay. Alright. Okay. So, you are faced with a 60-foot chasm with 5 floating platforms. One of which is, or the final of which is about 20 feet from the edge, the far edge of the chasm. On the other side, you see a doorway, presumably leading to more hallway. What would you like to do?
Okay, so this is going back a little bit to that previous turning point, right?
You went back to your previous turn, and you went right instead, and now you are here.
And there's, you said a door or a doorway?
It is a doorway.
Do we see anything beyond it?
It is too far to tell, because the doorway is about almost 80 feet from you. Your light does not reach that far.
Okay. Checking for traps?
Where?
Anywhere
Okay, what I miss?
along the
You have
walls?
to be more specific than that.
Okay, along the walls or floors or ceiling as we approach the doorway.
And you were checking for traps?
Well, I was sort of hoping Minato would help with that, but I can also.
I am definitely checking for traps, and
Okay, roll perception.
specifically on the door.
You cannot get to the door. It is across the chasm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, the chasm. Doy.
Yes, there's a chasm.
Is Jadalu's back or?
I don't think so.
Or I was gonna say, because I think Zacro knows fly.
He might know it today. But, you know.
What wizard spells worked where you didn't have to prepare them, you knew a set number of them.
That's sorcerer.
That's Bard. And Sorcerer. Charisma casters.
Okay, then that's something that has changed since previous editions, sorry.
Yeah, wizards you can swap, you prepare, you swap out, etc. Wizards, however, can just swap out using like a single minute of time instead of just needing to wait till the end of their next long rest.
How far is it between me and the first floating?
About 10 feet.
Okay. I take another ball bearing
Mm-hmm.
and I throw it into the chasm, listening. Well, kind of let it roll off into the chasm
Okay.
and listen.
It goes... ding, 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 ding. Sort of echoes away.
About how long did it take before it hit the ground?
You heard it bounce off several surfaces. So
Okay.
you're not exactly sure which one of those surfaces was the ground.
So I throw one a little bit further out.
Okay. So there's a good second or two before it touches anything.
So it's a long way down.
Mm-hmm. Does seem to be.
I use my 10-foot pole and push on the edge of the island.
Oh.
It is there, as far as you can feel. You push against it. It wobbles gently in the air, just a little bit. It doesn't otherwise move.
Hmm. Minato puts a pitten into the ground. Does anybody have some rope I could borrow?
I've got 50 feet.
That'll help. Any more?
You have pitons but no rope in your kit, or?
Didn't Temp have a whole bunch of rope earlier in the campaign?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't have rope.
What kind of adventurers are you people?
Hang on, hang on.
I have rope.
Look, I have a sword that I never use. Okay, I don't have to. Don't judge me.
I tie the two ropes ends together to start.
Okay, so roll a sleight of hand.
Would you like to auto succeed?
I'm good. That's 21.
Okay.
If anybody wants to undo that knot, the DC is 21.
Yeesh.
Alrighty.
What are you doing now, Minato?
Does anybody else have any rope?
Nope, sorry.
That chasm was, what, 60 feet across? 80 feet?
60 feet across.
So that's enough rope, isn't it? If we've got multiple things for 50 feet.
I can't help but think if there's a giant chasm, there has to be a better way than, like, it's impassable. Other people have gotten down here.
Is there, I also have to ask, are the islands all in a row, or are they
Vaguely,
side-saddle?
they're a little like, it's like a little stepping stone sort of pattern, where they're slightly offset from each other, but mostly they're in a row.
So I feel like 100 feet of rope, or if we're tying it off a little bit, maybe 98, 99 would be enough weight.
Can I look and see if there are any, like, invisible islands that we're not seeing?
Roll intelligence, please. Or, let's see, is it investigation? I think it is investigation. Go ahead and roll investigation.
I tie off one end of the rope again through the pitten for a
Ha!
26.
Okay. What did you get, JD?
Investigation, you say?
Yes.
27.
Hmm.
Critical success.
26. Oh, it was a crit?
Yeah.
You don't see any hidden islands, but as you are looking sort of at this chasm, you look down, and there's a floor about 10 feet down.
So not
You see a couple of ball bearings just kind of sitting on it. You see the faint sort of dark image of what would be a chasm, and the rest of you still see a chasm. But Zacro, you see through this illusion.
I jump in.
Yeah, you don't tell anyone, you just go ahead and jump down.
What?
Come on, guys.
To the rest of you, Zacro leaps into the void.
Mir screams, no!
Minato, with quick deftness, while jumping off behind Zacro, throwing the rope around her waist and just like sliding down the rope and going to trying to catch Zacro.
You land on your butt on the floor.
Guys, it's just the ground. I think I found the bottom.
Oh. Okay.
Please
don't do that without telling us again.
I probably could have
Could you
warned
just
you.
tell
Sorry.
us and not jump next time? That'd be lovely.
Yeah,
thanks.
Mir
I'll try to let
shimmies
you
down
know.
the rope after Minato and then runs over to Sakura and like big bear hug of us.
Protective bird noises.
Yeah.
Dad!
Frustrated.
When Zakro
Please.
first jumped, you saw him, like, land sort of just on nothing. And now that you're all realizing that this is an illusion, you see that dark chasm pattern just sort of fade away, and there's, like, a smooth stone bottom. Just kind of there. You see, like, the ghost image of the illusion. It's still there, but you can see through it now.
I'd like to know who made this.
Do you have a spell that will do that?
Let me see.
Go back up and undo the pit and in the ropes, by the way.
Alright, I'll just let you do that. Just go for it, yeah.
Why, yes. I have a spell called Detect Magic.
Okay.
And what does it do? No.
Tell me what it does.
Never
Well, you
mind, I
see-
don't want to use that spell. That won't tell me who cast it.
Okay.
It only tells me the school of magic. I can tell it's an illusion. I don't need to worry about that.
Alright. Are you casting something then?
No,
You're not? Okay.
I just want to like look around and see if I can get a feel for how this was cast.
This is a very large room. This chasm is perhaps 200 feet long, and the illusion covers the entire thing. As well
Would
as...
I happen to know what spell?
Not without some sort of spell that lets you know spells.
Okay, never mind then.
There's a spell for that, right?
Nope.
I mean, roll an Arcana check, and we'll see if.
Okay.
Is this divine magic? Would Mir recognize it at all?
It is not divine magic.
It's gonna be 8 plus 7.
Well,
15.
you don't know what spell this is. It is some sort of
Okay.
illusion spell. That's all you really got.
It's a spell.
Okay. I got it. Well, onward we go.
I think it's magic, guys.
Yeah, you walk
Might
across
be
the
right.
floor, and just sort of climb up on the other side. NBD. And you enter the hallway, and that will take you. Where's my pencil? You follow it, and it's this sort of like labyrinthine turning around, going in larger and larger loops. And finally, you emerge on into a slightly larger hallway, and this one leads downwards. What are you doing? Who's over there just like breathing?
Sorry. I'm using the can of air to dust my computer and keep it from overheating.
Turn your microphone off when you do it.
Push to talk, JD.
Push to talk exists for a reason.
Kids these days, I swear. Nah.
Oh god, iTunes has died on me. Alright.
Well, did it in an appropriate place. We can bury it in the catacombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not playing music anymore, huh? You're just not gonna play music anymore, huh? Okay.
I don't wanna.
I guess it done. Alright, so you have found the next hallway leading downwards. Oh. I see the issue. Oh lord. Can you please calm down, Fuse? Just kidding. It wasn't iTunes. My notebook of maps was balanced on the pause break button. Okay.
Ah.
I'll just hold it.
So,
Alright, so you have found the hallway leading downwards. And, you follow it, and you emerge into... You go around a bend, and you find another four-way crossroads. And this one seems a little, for lack of a better term, a little rough around the edges. It lacks the sort of polished, finished feeling as the rest of the levels have had.
This is floor 7 now?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is correct. You can go left, straight, or right.
Is this the lowest level? And we are not going straight.
Says you as Minato goes straight.
You want to go straight? Okay.
Didn't know that.
Wait, but I can't go that way.
None of us can.
Right?
It's impossible.
I'll replace it with go ahead, left, or right.
Thank you. I
Is
was
that
gonna
better?
say
Thank you.
Falcon would put it like evil demon at that.
Up at the straight one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go ahead, you can go to the left, or you can go to the right. Minato, you went straight to
Now,
the...
enough of us being all
You went ahead?
extra as
I'm gonna
shit.
follow Minato. Gotta
Okay.
keep safe.
Yeah.
There is a smaller hallway that branches off to the right, up ahead of you. As well, on the frontways path. So you can go right or left, effectively.
Mark
Left.
the left passageway and continue on down that way.
Okay.
Mhm.
You, it's not far. You emerge into another room, and this one looks to be, another sort of mausoleum. And it is dim in here. There are no lights. The only lights are the ones that you carry with you. And there is a stone tomb. It is very plain. You see, like, the beginnings of what were carvings of trees, perhaps, but they were never finished. And you can see a metal plate with a name on it bolted to the tomb.
What's the name?
Ezra.
Ezra.
You can roll
this the name I
history
recognize?
mirror if you so desire.
Ugh, 7.
Ezra is the final, well, almost final, founder of Silverhill. Basically, you've met or accounted for all but one of them. And that one you also know of, but he's not here. Ezra was a half-elf. You're not sure from where. Possibly from somewhere in Etria. Their past is very sort of hidden. They're not mentioned very often. And when they are mentioned, they seem to have been not quite a fan of the entire Silverhill business. It might have something to do with the fact that they were a druid. It seems like maybe they didn't like the idea of mining out the land. You don't really know. You haven't heard much about them. But originally they were going to be buried on level 3, and they were moved down to level 7 when Liana became mayor.
So a bit
Interesting.
of a black sheep.
I guess a little bit.
What would you like to do?
Is there any other passageways through this mausoleum, or is this the end of the road?
There is no other passageway out of the mausoleum.
There were the other paths to the right and left that we didn't take. So we could go look at those.
Go back to the last split and go right instead of left.
Okay, it's not a very long passageway. It abruptly ends, and it looks like they were going to sort of dig out one of those long areas filled with tombs, but it's not done. There's just kind of like a wall that was being dug, and there's nothing there.
Is there There's no like holes that go through to another cavern.
Perception.
Shoot.
Can I kind of listen at the door of the mausoleum,
is
see if I hear
12.
anything inside?
Sure. Roll perception, Mir. And you got 12, Minato?
Yeah.
You do not see any breaks or breaches or fissures or cracks. It appears that while they were digging at this, it's not like a wall per se. It's just into the stone, and there's nothing. Mir, what'd you get?
Another bloody 7.
You don't hear anything.
Swear these are the same dice I was rolling last time that kept getting the 20s, but the universe must be rebalancing.
Yeah, it's recalibrating.
Recalculating. Yeah, you don't hear
That's
anything.
exactly where my brain went.
Nothing there. What would you like to do?
A long cry.
What?
What?
I don't know.
I just want to explore. Wherever I haven't been, I just want to go.
Okay. Yeah, you can sort of wander around. Down here, these are clearly the oldest tombs. And you didn't see any catacomb tomb or coffin shelves on level 6 at all. But you do see them down here on level 7, and they are ancient. These are easily 300 years old.
Ooh.
Yeah, these go back to the start of Silverhill. And, you see some on the shelves, they're very, very dusty. Some of them have fallen apart, but there's nothing inside. Anything that has long since turned to nothing. Just the faintest of dirt piles, I guess, or dust piles. There are a couple areas where, again, that sort of smooth construction breaks off into like just a dug out passageway, but they don't go anywhere. They kind of dead end out.
Just like abandoned
Yeah,
things that people cut.
like abandoned mine tunnels, which is originally what this was.
And none of these areas have holes or.
Perception with
very
advantage,
well.
because everybody's looking.
Yeah.
That is math. 19.
Yeah,
Bear in mind.
you can go through, and find or look for any sort of breaches or fissures, and there is nothing. Any ghosts that may exist down here have not gone anywhere else. You don't even know if there's ghosts down here.
I like to sniff for ghosts.
What do you think ghosts smell like?
Cold and sadness.
Roll to sniff for ghosts.
Alright. My good die, don't let me down. What roll is that? Is it just like a flat
Perception
roll?
with disadvantage, because
Oh, disadvantaged. Uh-oh. 8.
you don't smell any ghosts.
Okay.
What does sadness even smell like?
Whiskey? Sorry, had to.
Temp.
See, my brain went to X body spray.
Ooh,
Oh no!
Alright. You do not smell any ghosts. You do not find any breaks.
Keep it up. Is there anywhere else to go down here?
Have we checked about the right and the left, or just the forward
Yeah,
path?
you've looked at pretty much everything. Zakar just went ahead and explored everything.
What do
Maybe
you think,
they're not-
guys? Should we stay down here for a night and find out?
Well, yeah, maybe they are only active at certain times of the day. Wouldn't bother me.
Should probably okay it with the clerics first.
Yeah, we should probably. Do you think maybe ghosts are coming in from the door to the snowy place?
That'd be interesting. We also haven't gone inside the mausoleum. I'm not sure if we can or
Oh yeah,
allowed
we should
to,
probably take a closer look at that.
Which mausoleum?
That last one down here,
Okay.
the name escapes me now.
Ezra.
That's right.
Minato will state that she's going to go upstairs and explore the rest of the 6th level and asks if anybody wants to join her.
I'll
Absolutely, you can't
with
go
you.
alone.
Yeah.
Alright.
Buddy system, man.
Who's going with Minato?
I'm
I'll
going.
go with Minato.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll go.
Is anyone not going? Nope. Okay, let's go.
Oh, okay. Everyone's going with Minato?
Yep.
Oh, alright.
Okay.
Good
We're
thing,
at
We're
your
your
back.
friends whether you like it or not.
good thing you guys marked where to go in the maze. Otherwise you'd
Yep.
have to stumble through. There's a whole lot more false passageways. I just realized that it's a bad idea to try and run that over voice chat only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, I've actually been keeping track and write on a piece of paper.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. I
I-
could send you
well.
a picture of it.
That's dedication.
Pretty
Gold
sweet.
star.
Get inspiration for
I
that.
like.
You get a puppy sticker. And inspiration.
Yeah. Take
But we both
inspiration
know
for
that the
giving a
puppy
shit
sticker's
about the
better.
maze. Okay. Alright, so you guys head back up to level 6. What are you going to do there?
You already know my answer, so I'm not gonna bother
What?
saying it.
What are you... What? No, I don't.
Sniffing for ghosts. You guys realize what this entire episode is about, right?
Smelling for ghosts.
Ghost hunters? I don't know.
Silverhill had a problem with ghosts, and they were like, "Who are we
Who are
gonna
you gonna
call?
call?
The Rift Watchers."
Temp. Oh. I was thinking, you know, the guy who punches things.
You
But,
punch
yeah.
ghosts, buddy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, magical
You
fist.
know it.
Have
That's
you
true,
ever
you
punched
have
a
You're
ghost
magical
before?
after all. Wait, did I?
Mm-mm.
No.
You've never
Don't
punched a
think so.
ghost. You don't know if it's possible. You assume so.
Well, I've got to find out somehow, right?
This is the scientific process at work.
This is Temp's scientific process.
That
Work.
it is. That it is.
It's
All
not a
right.
scientific process. It's just Temp wanting to punch things.
Zachar, go ahead and roll perception to sniff for ghosts. Disadvantage again, means you've never smelled a ghost. And you're taking a wild guess. What do you get, buddy? Zachar,
Yeah.
are you gonna roll to sniff for the ghosts or not?
Oh my gosh, yes I am.
I literally told you to do that like a solid 30 seconds ago.
I'm sorry I didn't see it. 21.
Use your ears, not your eyes! I'm talking!
I was using my nose.
Oh boy.
This is going so far out of control. I love it.
You don't smell any ghosts. Or
Alright.
you don't smell anything that smells like what you think ghosts smell like.
Okay.
Well, I think the problem is, what do you think ghosts smell like, Zachar?
Ghost croissants. I've got experience with these.
Oh yeah, you're
Is that
right.
this campaign?
Yeah,
I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was.
All right, let's focus.
Okay. What else are you guys going to do?
Just to explore what's left.
So I guess
Look
we
for any
stay there
signs of
maybe,
disturbance.
and then maybe speak with the clerics, ask if they'll allow us to camp out overnight.
All right, so you're going all the way back up. You're going all the way back up to the top.
Yeah.
After we've investigated down here.
Okay, yeah,
At first, I'd like to set an alarm spell on the snowy gate.
sure. You
That
do
makes
it.
sense.
Okay. Done. I'd like to set a second alarm spell on the opening to the catacombs.
Can you have more than one open at once?
I'm about to find out.
I don't think you can have more than one active.
That is okay.
So which one do you have active?
I'm finding out. It's not a concentration spell.
But it does ping you directly in your brain.
Mm-hmm. The only limit to the number of alarms you can have is time. Confirmed on RPG Stack Exchange.
All right. I guess so.
Yep.
All right, so you can go ahead and put 2 down.
So you can be very alarmed.
The second you cast it at the front of the catacombs, every cleric in the area gives you a look that says, "Really?
Why?
We go through there
I
constantly."
said it not to set off when they go through.
Oh, okay. You designate it for every single. What do you?
You can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm.
Oh, set off the alarm. All right, so you designate all the clerics that you can see.
Yes. All of them.
Right.
And then there's
This
that
is
one
gonna
that
go
you
so
don't-
well.
All right.
I'll just stay near the entrance, right?
Yeah. What? Real quick, everybody. I am going to have you all mute and deafen yourselves, except Luke.
Okay. Except me.
Yes, I want to talk to you for a
Just
second.
type in chat when you're ready for us to turn it back on.
Sure thing. All right, Minato, what are you doing? You've got the
Okay.
point of. You've got 1 Leshen antler point. And
Okay.
a tomb which bears inscriptions in Abyssal that you can read. And and 1 very large carving of 1 very large snake.
Which I am going to assume is Mother Snake.
Does not look like it to you. Roll religion.
Ah! That fell off the table, sorry.
Sure.
My strongest suit, but not bad with a 16.
This particular image, it's weird. It looks like it's like a rendition of Dendar, but for some reason it doesn't look right. It looks like it's less frightening. It's more natural looking than the Dendar that you're used to, than the hunter that you know. I mean, you're almost certain that it is the Hunter Lord, or the Night Mother, Dendar, of course, but it just looks weird. It's not quite right.
Something's off.
And then there's like another snake carved nearby, and you just have no idea what that one is.
Huh. And, quick question, is there any, like a little altar, like on the, sarcophagus, or
Yes.
is it easy to open the sarcophagus?
It's not the open sarcophagus, but if you go around to the far edge of it, you can find a sort of like a small version of an altar, and this is where both of these snakes are. They have designated carvings. One of them is Askasha, the Night Mistress, Dendar, And one of them is this unfamiliar being that you just don't know what that one is. And below them there is an altar, and there's a stone bowl with some dust in it that was once an offering, you're certain. And beyond that, there's nothing else on it.
There's nothing else on it? Okay, well that kind of dissuades me from doing that.
Well, there once was, but now there's just dust. Whatever was there long decayed. Trisket de Waith, died a very long time ago.
Alright. Yeah, because what I was thinking of doing was kind of surreptitiously putting the whole skull in with like a bunch of stuff in the tomb itself when no one was looking.
No one saw you take the Leshen skull.
No?
No. No one was paying attention.
Okay. So, still, I would like to make it as not easily known.
For sure, yeah. No,
that it just showed up.
The mausoleum is fairly large, and this is around the back of it. Unless somebody specifically goes back there, they're not going to see it.
Okay. So then I'll put the whole antler minus the one, or the whole skull minus the one antler on the thing, and
Sure.
give me a second here. My character sheet again, so I can
Fucking
take that off.
icons. Sure.
And with just like one of the flasks of oil, dip my finger in it, and then put the symbol, a symbol for the snake gods in general.
Okay.
Probably more preferably, or more specifically Dendar, since I know Dendar. And then get up and rejoin the group.
Sure. Before you stand, roll 2 religion checks.
Okay. One is terrible. That's 6. The other one is 19.
You are sitting here in front of this altar, and you set the skull down on it, and you draw out this symbol of the Night Mistress Dendar, who you also know by the name Askasha, and your finger traces this ancient symbol in the dust on the altar, and you pull your hand back, and you look at it for a moment, and you think about who this goddess is, and why this founder of Silverhill would have all of these images to your god in her tomb, and you think maybe this person wasn't human.
Perhaps not.
Perhaps she was a Yuan-Ti. And you think about the Night Mistress, and you think about your tasks in your life, and for a moment you feel just this very faint presence again behind you to your left. And after just a few seconds, you hear very faintly, just like before, but this time it's a coherent voice just whispering in your ear, and it says, "Who comes, serpent's daughter? Who comes, who touches my altar?"
And I very, very quietly whisper my name.
And it feels, it's like, it's a very unnerving feeling, but it feels like something, like you were standing in a puddle of, like you were hiding, like you were stealthed, and then suddenly, like a bright beam of moonlight is on you, and there is nowhere to hide, and something is looking directly at you.
I would be frozen to the place. I would not be able to move.
You hear this faint this movement noise, like something scraping against the rock around you. There is something here, and it is right there. It is around you. It is watching you. It is waiting for you just to make the wrong move. Just to do anything wrong. And it will strike.
Just sit there, and the only movement that she'll do is just open her arm. There's nothing. She knows there's nothing she can do about it, so she's just going to accept what happened.
And you feel this sort of growing tension behind you, just right there. More than anything, you want to turn around. You want to look for what is frightening you. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
And that's a natural 17 with addition.
You do not turn around. And this sort of presence feeling, you feel its eyes, just whatever it is, and you think you might know what it is. It is right behind you. You can feel it. It is touching your mind, and then it's gone. You're in a tomb. You've put the skull. You've drawn the symbol. Nothing is there. Your heart is racing. But there is nothing here. You're safe. I'm going to bring the others back in now.
Before you do, one last question.
Yes.
Now, does the Auntie have their own language? Or
Yes. They
Okay.
do.
I just want to make sure that was.
Yes, I didn't want to specify Yuan-Ti tongue in front of the others. But
Okay.
that's what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I may have said abyssal earlier. That's not what it was. It's definitely their language. All right, I'm bringing the others.
Okay. Whew.
All right.
Enough.
Okay, so, Mir, you go ahead and you go ask the clerics what's happening. You go ask them for... Oh, by the way, I'm not going to have any more music because my internet connection has died. You know, on the brick, so music's gone. You go ahead and ask the clerics. They are reluctant, but they know that you were sent by Liana. They know that Carlia approved your little expedition, and therefore, go ahead. You can stay one night only, and do not touch anything.
Mir gives
I'm
like a little
letting no one
salute.
can hear
You
touching.
have our word.
Alright.
I don't actually.
So where are you going to be? Staying for the night.
You know, around.
Probably the lower levels.
Okay.
Since that is where the complaints are coming about.
Sure. Which lower level? Where?
Probably 6 and 7. Sure where.
Are you asking as the snarky, sassy people, or as the DM?
As the DM.
Because,
Oh.
wow.
Minato's gonna stay and wander around 6.
Okay.
I guess we should. I'm gonna stick with Minato at least, just so we don't, you know, all go split up.
Sure.
with the clues.
You guys can pick wherever you want to set up camp. You've chosen levels 6 and 7. Just wherever. Let me know what you want to do to set up for the night.
Alright.
You're just gonna. Let me see.
By the way, it's very late at this point. You spent hours looking through this place.
Time for a nap.
Yeah, it was about 4 p.m. when you entered. It's probably close to 9 now.
Yeesh.
Time for a nap.
A cat nap.
I will nap on the nearest available comfy thing.
Well, you're in a catacomb, so there's not much.
You never know.
Well, I mean, you're a cat, so.
I can cast
Yeah.
the Guardian of Faith somewhere. The thing that will like guard, and if something hostile comes through, will attack it. Don't know where that would be best served.
In the doorway.
It's up to you. It's all up to you.
You know how bad I am with making decisions.
How
Put this
about
power in my
by
hands.
the what's it? The archway door thing to the snowy place.
Okay, sure.
That seems like an okay spot.
You've got an alarm there, and you've got a Guardian of Faith.
It's the
Both
fifth
are. How long
level,
do
Fourth.
both of those last?
Guardian of Faith, I think lasts 8 hours.
Okay.
Are
Yeah,
you
8
sure you want to put a
hours.
Guardian of Faith? Because, like, that does damage.
True.
While we're at it, I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Nope.
Maybe that is a
can do
bad
that.
idea. I'm not certain, damn it. You know what? I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay.
Just 'cause
So you
maybe
guys
it's
have
something we want to talk to.
you have 2 alarms up, and a Guardian of Faith. No Guardian of
Mm-hmm.
Faith.
Yep.
All right. Where would you like to sleep?
In my bedroll.
Where in the catacomb? At what location?
I'm gonna
within-
find a warm spot a little bit down the hall from the cold door.
Okay. Oh, what? That's up on level 4.
Will
You
we
will be
plan to
away
do-
from the rest of the party if you do that.
Oh no, I want to stay with the party.
Never split the party.
Never split the party.
As I mentioned, Minato was going to be on the 6th floor, so she'll probably set up near the mausoleum.
On which level? 7 or 6?
6.
On 6? Okay. Alright. Mir, Temp,
Yes.
Rom, where are you 3?
I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with as many other people as possible. Although if one person's going off alone, I'm gonna stick with them
Okay.
so that nobody's alone.
Okay, so wait, where... Zakar, you said you weren't going to separate from the rest of us?
Yeah,
You're
I'm gonna stick with the party.
Okay.
Do we want... Do we want to put like a few of us on the 6th floor and a few
We
on
shouldn't-
the 7th,
Yeah.
or should we
Shouldn't
think
split
we
the
should
party.
stick to... Okay.
I was going to
Um,
say, Minato suggests
Maybe the 7th floor, but near the stairs up to the 6th floor?
I like it.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
That's solid.
fantastic. Minato hands whoever's going to the 7th bell and says, Ring it if you find any.
Or are you staying up here?
I'm staying on the 6th floor.
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
You probably shouldn't stay by yourself. I don't know.
I'll stay close. I've got a signal whistle. You'll know if I'm in trouble.
Alright.
If one of you wants to accompany me, that's fine.
Okay,
I'll
I
stick
will.
with you.
That's 2 of you.
Okay, perfect.
Alright, so,
So you've got half and half.
yeah.
Approximately.
Mir and
Okay.
Brom will camp on the 7th floor near the stairs up to the 6th floor, and you guys are taking the 6th floor.
Okay.
Any objections, Brom?
No, that sounds good.
Alright.
Alrighty. You guys go ahead and set up your camps.
You guys get a text message.
God damn it.
That's what happens.
You guys go ahead and set up your camps, and let's see here. I'm gonna roll some stuff.
1,
Okay. Is anybody staying up on watch in whatever locations?
Hang on, Luga's coming right back in a minute.
Okay. I thought the question applies to all of you. So.
I'm not. I'm tired.
Okay,
I'll
Zachary,
take
you're
watch.
just conking out.
Mir can take first watch with Brom, unless he wanted to.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Mir sits up with her little light.
Alrighty. You can't see it, but the sun has set. You are deep in the catacombs. The still air of these deep mines is harsh to breathe sometimes, but throughout the night it does not stir unnaturally. You feel no disturbances. Mir and Brom, both of you down by Ezre's tomb, you see nothing. Nothing seems to enter or exit the mausoleum. There are no unnatural disturbances. Mir, in particular, you do not feel any undead stirring nearby. Zachary, your alarm spells do not go off.
That's good.
It is uneventful. It seems that if there are ghosts in the mines, they do not originate from here.
Either they just wanted to give us a good night's rest.
Yeah, you guys can.
How's
Anybody who was low on hit points or spell slots or anything.
Oh,
Well, no, I was just thinking that it's very nice of them to, make sure we got a good night's sleep. Are nice and unprepared for when they come out and make it spooky town on us.
Spooky town.
It's
Sorry.
like funky, except it's not.
The only real way you have of telling time is you don't.
That's real helpful.
I just realized you don't tell time down here. You can just sort of assume that time has passed because you wake up and stuff. Unless anybody can always tell time, y'all are watchless.
That's my superpower, actually.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a
That's
broken
an
watch.
Yeah.
You have a broken watch.
I mean, it's
That
right
doesn't-
twice a day.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Well, nothing happens, and you guys can all go ahead and get a long rest. The charge you spent on your ring, Zakro, comes back to you.
Sweet.
Yep. So you have all three. Your night was calm.
Guess we should go up, let the clerics know, and then go speak to the mayor. Let her know that we don't think it's down here, so let's check the mines.
Gotta be somewhere else, yeah.
I don't remember what Liana's voice sounds like. Alright, yeah, you guys can go ahead and do that. Shit, what was her
I
voice?
assume we get a wee bit of I told you so from the clerics.
Yeah, no, you go up, and a couple of a lot of them just kind of like watch you from the side. Niera, the same one you dealt with the other day, says, "Oh, are you quite finished in there?
Yeah.
Did you touch anything?
Shit.
No.
Good.
We didn't.
I'm assuming you found everything as we told you it would be."
Yep.
Which is,
We did read, and we'll let the
Of
mayor know.
course.
thank
Yeah.
you for.
If there's a ghost problem, it's not coming from here.
Can hear your
Right.
shit. No.
Well, I'm glad her outside opinion will be hopefully able to sway her.
We'll
We'll
make
do
sure
our
of
best.
She rolls her eyes.
Thank you for letting us stay in, and if you do end up having any problems, you're certainly welcome to let us know.
Sure. We won't be able to handle it on our own, probably.
I'm sure you'll have.
At this point, Mir's just gonna kind
Just
of
really
nod
fucking
and
done with
walk
these people.
away, because, like, she's trying to be nice, and they're just...
Niera is done.
rude.
Alright.
Mostly it's just like, she's like, I don't think this is a me thing, so I'm just gonna yeah.
Sure. So, hold
Bidet.
on. Alrighty. So yeah, you guys go ahead and hold on. My computer's not charged properly. Sorry, my charger was disconnecting for some reason. Alright, yeah, you guys can go ahead
Nice.
and leave the Temple of Shadows. If you want.
That was
Alright.
strange.
Okay.
It is daytime. Now it is morning. It is... That's not right. That's not a morning time. It's 9 in the morning.
Are you rolling the 24-sided
Yeah.
die?
I sure am. Alright. In order to enter the mines, Liana told you, you will need to get the key from her.
We don't go do that then.
Alright, you guys can go ahead and return to the mayor's manor. You were again shown in by the very excitable steward, I suppose, secretary to the mayor, and that would be Fosain, the elf. And she goes, "You're back!
Of course.
Did you find any ghosts?"
Nope.
No.
Oh,
Still
There are
the
some
ones
cut in the
that
mines, and they don't seem to be coming from the catacombs.
well, that's good because that means we don't have ghosts in our catacombs then.
I mean, but really, wouldn't it be better if there were ghosts in the catacombs?
Would it be?
Rather than ghosts in like the mines proper? I mean, it's just more spooky, isn't it?
I don't really know about spooky. I mean, probably yeah. She's just agreeing with you. That's really it. She's just agreeing with you.
I'm just
Yeah.
about them spooks, though.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I guess it would be. I mean, kind of fitting. I suppose if it were in the catacombs. And
Side eye. Anyway.
and again, you're standing outside the mayor's office and you hear, "Fosain," and she goes, "Oh, sorry," and she kind of backs off and lets you guys
She's
enter.
adorable.
And there again is Liana doing yet more paperwork.
I feel it.
My favorite.
And I don't remember Liana's voice.
I don't either.
Shoot.
There's
Dang.
something,
There was an accent, but I don't remember what accent.
it was not English, but it was kind of like it. If I recall correctly. That proper.
I can solve this. No, I can't. I was gonna pull up the video.
She has a cold. She signs to us.
What?
Perfect.
No, it's fine. I got this, you guys. I'm gonna
Okay.
listen to my own voice.
Okay.
And
Oh
so is
dear.
the audience. Hello, everyone. Today's really hectic because one of my players literally just told me they're not.
I'm so
recording.
sorry, audience.
And as it whips past.
Don't be rude. Especially not to the DM who
So-
determines your fate.
Minato, upon
True.
entering,
My fate was decided long ago.
having the introduction, puts one hand out and bows.
Okay, I've almost got it. Don't say anything,
and
anybody.
then Takes
Anything,
position
anybody.
Against the wall.
Really?
Again.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, 5 chairs, not 6, maybe. Of them. Some problems with the mines, and I'm not certain how to solve them. Okay, it may have been vaguely Scottish. Okay, so. Oh, it might have been Irish. You're right. Okay, so Liana is in there, and she says, "Well, what did you find?" Excuse you.
Sorry.
What did you find?
Tentacles and
Nothing at
disappointment.
all.
Nothing.
Sorry? Nothing.
We didn't find any signs of ghosts or any undead in the area. Nothing seemed to have been disturbed.
I combed
Everything-
every nook and cranny. There was nothing to see.
Then I don't know where they could have come from. I was afraid of this.
Have there been any accidents or deaths in the mines that could have?
Deaths? Oh.
Ooh. That doesn't
I
sound
don't
good.
think... No, not that I know of. Although... Aside from Gilthrin, of course. And she kind of looks a little sad, because, you know, she knew him, and he was nice, but he died like 350 years ago. Oh god, hold on, my music's... Okay. And she says, I was afraid this would happen. I don't... Perhaps there have been deaths in the mines before, when I have not been directly overseeing them. I often am not in Silverhill, I go other places to do business. But if there have, then there is a chance that their ghosts were not laid to rest. You will have to enter the mines themselves.
Oh, great.
I wish I did not have to do this. But until they are safe, we cannot hope to undergo a proper expedition and use them for our purposes, to house more people. So, and she reaches under her desk and pulls out a single like iron ring, and there's 2 keys on it. And she says, "These are the keys to levels 6 and 7. You will need them to get in. I will warn you, though. Level 6 is you are able to enter it. Level 7 is only accessible through the elevator. You will have to make..." And she kind of pauses and she thinks about it and she goes, "I am no expert, but the elevator does not work and you will have to repair it, I believe."
Okay.
I think it broke, and that was one of the reasons we sealed off levels 6 and 7. We did not want to deal with it. And she holds the keys out.
Minato takes the gem from her hand.
Okay.
We will tread carefully.
There are still 3 of our citizens somewhere down there in level 6.
Oh, that's not good.
If you happen to find them, please try to get them out safely, if you can.
But of course.
If it is possible, we shall.
Thank you.
So I guess we head for the mines.
All right.
Unless anybody wants to stop and get any supplies. Oh, Mir wanted to talk real quick to some of the clerics in the temple again. Just find the friendliest one and ask them for tips on putting the dead to rest if we do find ghosts.
Okay.
Like, should they be dealt with differently than more hostile undead, or if they aren't hostile, is there anything in particular to just help them on?
The general consensus on that is that sometimes ghosts don't know that they're dead. And if they're just like non-hostile, just kind of floating around, sometimes if you let them know what's going on, they'll be like, oh man, oh, and then they'll be able to move on. Sometimes you need to say a certain prayer over them for their god. Sometimes you need to move something. In the most famous cases of ghosts, you need to go complete a task that they have never finished in their lifetime. And then for the hostile ones, using destroy undead or other divine abilities to turn them usually works just fine. You can do it via force as well, if you have the kind of weaponry that can affect a mostly incorporeal being.
I assume that would be some sort of magical weaponry.
Yes. Or, you know, Ghost Puncher's fists over here.
Yes. Who are you gonna call? Ghost Puncher.
Ghost Punchers. Yeah.
Ghost Sniffer.
Ghost Punchers. Alright.
I don't know, Punchers just sounds so good.
So,
Oh,
Ghost
yeah, I got one more
Facers.
question.
Yes?
I'm gonna go to the most old and learned-looking person in this group of clerics and show them the rubbing I took off the tomb and see what language is this.
Let's see if they know. They don't.
I gotta add it to my to learn sheet, guys. Come on, help me out.
They, you take it to, you actually take it to Carlia, because she's around, and she takes it, she looks at it, she goes, I do not know this tongue. This is not one that I
Alright.
have ever seen before. Aside from, these are the words on Triss's tomb, obviously, but even I do not know what they say.
Well, I know what they say, I just don't know what they are.
Do you?
Well, I know what they literally say.
Well, what do they say?
It says,
I recite
hunter-
what it says.
and the gatherer together guide me to the distant lands. I walk the path between the sunset and the midnight, between moon and sky. I go to where the autumn is eternal. Doesn't sound the greatest.
I do not know to which realm this refers. I will have to inquire with some.
Me too, I
of
got
my
some research to do.
colleagues.
But until then,
Of course. Yeah, she doesn't know.
fine.
Dang.
All right. And with that, we will go ahead and end for the evening, with you guys ready to enter the mines next time we convene next week. Let me go ahead and outro the stream, and I will be right back with you. I promise I will actually remember to talk to you this time. Alright. Hey, thank you, stream, for stopping by tonight. I have no idea how many viewers I have. I have no idea who's anywhere, because nothing's working. Oops. Does this function? I don't think it does. Somebody else hit that Discord command in the chat. I can't read it. I can't affect chat, apparently. So that's awkward. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I will be back on Thursday evening, either for, like, Skyrim or for some freaking game. Maybe Minecraft, honestly. Like, literally, maybe more Minecraft. Minecraft seemed to be interesting and fun for people, so I might do that. Other than that, I have no announcements to make, so, yeah, I have no announcements, so I hope that you will all have a wonderful evening. This song has 44 seconds left. I'll go ahead and let those 44 play out, and then I will stop the stream, and I will see you all on Thursday. Good night.